Hello everybody, my name is Elle. Welcome. Today I felt like being a little bit chatty, so this is the beauty community tag. This tag was created by Lisa Stevens, who I think is awesome. I've long wanted to be friends with her. I'm not. I don't think I probably ever will be, but you know, a girl can dream, right? I just think she has some really inspiring and interesting content that's just a lot of fun to watch. I was tagged by one of my friends here on YouTube, Drea CN, and she is such a fantastic person. She is just so sweet and she's so genuine, and she does some amazing videos as well. So I will have both Drea's and Lisa's channels linked down below, so please go check them out if you haven't already. I'm sure you probably already have. But anyway, there are 10 questions to this tag, so let's just get into it. So the first question is, what are your favorite videos to watch? So I recently just did a video on this actually. I talked about 5 videos that I love watching and 5 videos that I hate watching. So I'll link that one down below as well in case you want a little bit more information. So I'll just talk about my #1 favorite videos that I love watching, and that's makeup tutorials. I really just love watching people apply makeup, but I also really love learning things. I love picking up new tips and tricks. I love new little placement things and techniques and just color combinations. There's a wealth of information in tutorials besides just what that tutorial is about. Like, I find that the stuff that I've learned the most have just been almost little throwaway things in videos that just something just clicks and it goes, oh, that makes so much more sense if I do this instead of this. So I just love watching whatever I can possibly watch when it comes to a makeup tutorial. I will watch a makeup tutorial on anything, on any eyeshadow palette, on any eye look, on any face thing. I watch everything from like natural everyday makeup to the full glam to special effects makeup tutorials, even though I probably will never do that kind of stuff. I just love to watch it and I love learning. I just feel like whenever I watch a makeup tutorial, I always pick up some little thing. Question 2 is, what are your favorite videos to film? So my favorite videos to film really vary. I have to say, like, stuff like first impressions I really like, because you are trying new makeup for the first time and you're chatting about it, and I love chatting with friends about makeup. I also love filming chatty get ready with me's for that same reason. It's just chatting about makeup or just chatting about life while you're doing makeup. There's something that's just so relaxing about it that just makes it so much fun to film. I also really love filming my project pans and my various panning, makeup, rehab related projects. Of course I love those. I love filming intros and finales the most. Intros are so much fun because you're introducing a brand new project, especially if it's something that you've created, something you've put a spin on. It's so much fun introducing that for the first time. Some of my most fun I've ever had was like my Fleetwood Mac project pan intro, my Broadway project pan intro, just things where I also got to chat a little bit more about myself. And then finales, of course, because you're talking about the things that you've learned, the products that you finished. Generally, intros and finales for project pans tend to be shorter, and short videos are great because they're easy to edit. I definitely think about that sometimes with some videos where I'm like, oh my god, how long is this gonna take me to edit? I love editing, but sometimes it gets frustrating. I'm very limited. I only have iMovie right now, and I have only had iMovie for like a year, but I want to upgrade to Final Cut. I just can't do it right now. I'm hoping to be able to get it sometime soon this year so that I can try some new editing techniques, because it is really fun, but it takes up so much time, especially if you're doing stuff like lip swatches. Like, I love filming lip swatches. When I was doing my lipstick roulette, I loved filming the lip swatches because I could just put music on and I'm playing with lipstick and I'm swatching things, and you know, you get to do like the beauty guru poses, and let me tell you, that is so much fun to do. I know a lot of people don't like that when there's like a minute before a tutorial or something with like the person posing, but once you've done something like that, it's so much fun to do because it's just like, look what I did. It's not about like, look at me, it's look what I did. That's what I love about it so much. It's like, look at my eyeshadow. Look at that. Look at that. I'm not saying like, look at my face, look at me. I'm like, look at my eyeshadow. And doing that, I spend way too much time with lip swatches. See, that's my problem. I would spend way too long being like, oh yes, look at this lipstick. And it's so silly, but it's just so much fun to do. So I really have just a blast filming stuff like that. Question 3 is, what are your least favorite videos to watch? So again, I hate to be that person, but I'm gonna reference my other video because I go pretty in-depth about the videos that I don't like watching. So I will be very simple here, and I'll just say the #1 thing that I don't like watching, and that's vlogs. I just find vlogs to be so boring, unless they're explicitly makeup related, like behind the scenes of the Knicks Face Awards. I just find them so boring. I mean, I'm here for the makeup. I don't really care what you're eating today or what your dog is doing. Question 4 is, what is your favorite thing about the beauty community? So this is totally cheesy, but it's the people. I love connecting with people, and that's just my absolute favorite thing. I love having that common thread with people, where it doesn't matter where you came from, what your history was like, what your life is like, but you have a common interest, and it's makeup. And you can talk about makeup and the different aspects of makeup that interest you. And I just find it so fascinating and so interesting. Like, I love all different aspects of makeup. I love makeup history. I love different styles of makeup, from editorial makeup. I love avant-garde makeup. I love natural makeup. I love glam makeup, Instaglam. You know, I love everything about it. It's so interesting to me, and I definitely view it as an art form. So I love being able to share that with people. And the beauty community as a whole, and not just on YouTube, but like the whole beauty community as it exists like online and through other social media platforms, allows people to connect. And it's so wonderful to me that people can connect over a common interest. And I love things like comments on videos. Now, that's actually going to be one of the things that I dislike about the beauty community, but I love talking with people. I love getting feedback from people. I love getting ideas for makeup looks. I love hearing about products and reviews, and there's just, like, I could go on and on and on, because there really is so many good things. But where there is light, there tends to be darkness. And question 5 is, what is your least favorite thing about the beauty community? So I actually have a couple of things that I want to talk about here. I've got to rub my hands together because I've been itching to talk about some of these things. So the first thing is addressing the community as a whole. And that has to be about hate. I don't know what it is, why there are so many trolls, online bullies, and people drawn to the beauty community, but there are so many, and it can be so incredibly toxic sometimes. And comment sections everywhere can be a very scary place. Now, I'm not talking about constructive criticism. I do feel like sometimes people are really quick to feel insulted, and yes, that stuff can sting sometimes. It really can, because sometimes people just say it like it is and it hurts. But you know what? You take it in, you listen to it, and you deal with it. Sometimes it's something you can fix, sometimes it's something you can't fix, sometimes it's something that you might want to fix, but you have some sort of limitations, but at least you have the opportunity to grow. And that's how I look at constructive criticism, which is why I ask for it all the time. And there's a huge difference between that and flat-out hate. And I mean, when you have people who are calling you names, when they're using slurs, when they are just attacking every part of you, and even making stuff up. Anyway, it's hard to stomach sometimes, but you know, people always say, well, that's the price you pay for putting yourself out there, but I don't think some of that stuff's necessary. People can obviously voice whatever opinion they want to, but some people are just absolutely ridiculous. The other two things I want to talk about that bother me are more about fellow content creators, because that's a huge part of the beauty community, is interacting with other people. There are some pretty noticeable cliques within the beauty community and different parts of the beauty community. You've probably noticed them with some of the big YouTubers, the ones that kind of stick together, support each other, collab with each other. Pretty obvious, but there's smaller cliques too. And sometimes you don't notice it, or you might think it's a really great thing from an outsider's perspective. Like, look at these people supporting each other. Look at this. This is great. You know, it's so good to see people lifting each other up. The problem is they don't include other people. And it's really hard being on the outside all the time. I definitely felt like I was on the outside of the panning community for a very long time, and I only recently started to feel accepted. And then I started to do other content besides panning, and I don't feel accepted. And I don't know why it is. Maybe it's a numbers thing, because I don't have the same reach as these other people do. My channel is, like I said before, very small. Maybe it's me. I don't know what it is. People form friendships, and it's human nature. It's gonna happen, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but it just hurts to be an outsider. And that's always what I feel like. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer or a negative Nancy and like dwell too much on that. But it's hard when you want to like form friendships with these other creators, especially people who do content like yours and who you think you can inspire each other, but you're just sort of not welcomed. Like the door is shut in your face. It's hard. It's hard sometimes, and I know that it's impossible for everybody to be friends with everybody. I know that. I know how hard it is. It's just not possible to like welcome everybody and be friends with everybody and comment on everybody's video, but I just always feel like it's me. I always just feel like people don't like me, and that's on me, but it's hard and it's frustrating. You know, I have to hand it to someone like Amber F, who is the genius who came up with Ban That Palette. Like, she is so incredibly supportive, and she was supportive with me from like almost day one when I started my channel. Like, I think I had like 5 subscribers and she was one of them. Like, she was so helpful and guided me in so many different ways just by being there, just by being supportive and not caring that I had just started, that I was just figuring stuff out, that I had a tiny channel. You know, there's people like that that are so special, and that when you find people like that, you want to lift them up too. Like, you just want to help each other, and I love that. And I never want to be part of an exclusive clique, an exclusive group of people, because I hate that feeling. I've been accused of it a couple of times. Like, there's been insinuations about me keeping other people out of cliques, and I'm like, I'm not in one. I'm not in one, so how can I keep you out of something that I'm not in, that I'm not part of? You know, I've had people make backhanded comments about me. I've had people start groups and things that were to rival mine because apparently I was too exclusive and, you know, I wasn't including everybody, which is not true and never been true. Like, I noticed that when I started my Facebook group, I created a group called the Pan Fam, just so people could chat about panning and, you know, no buys and that kind of stuff, and everybody's welcome. It's a closed group. You just have to send in a request to join and you're free to join. There's no test you have to complete. You're just welcome. So it hurts, you know? It really hurts that people would assume that stuff of me. It's just endlessly frustrating. The other thing I wanted to mention is about not giving credit, which sometimes happens if you're not part of like a clique or a group. You come up with an idea, you're so happy and proud of it, you share it with everybody, and then somebody else does the same thing and they don't credit you. And I hate that about the beauty community. I feel like a lot of people are good with giving credit when credit is due, but some people just refuse to do it. It's awful, I have to tell you. It sucks the joy out of so much stuff. And like, when people take your exact ideas, just give it a different name, that sucks too. I mean, people are passing ideas off as their own, and I'm so frustrated by that. Like, it's one thing to be inspired by somebody and then change the name and change rules and go about it in a different way. But usually if I do that, I also credit the person who initially inspired me, because people deserve that. They deserve to be credited for ideas. And if you don't agree with people being credited for their ideas, you can see yourself out. Anyway, that was my big rant, so thank you. Glad to have that off my chest now and can move forward. Question 6 is, what motivated you to start your channel? So just gonna switch directions here a little bit. I started my channel because I was watching so much YouTube, and I was hooked into empties videos, and I really wanted to do an empties video. I kept products for a while until I had enough to do a video, and I did an empties video. That was my very first YouTube video, filmed on a webcam, my old crappy computer, my old laptop, and that's how I started. That's why I started. I wanted to share the products I used up because I thought that was a really cool idea. Instead of just talking about something you've used once, you're talking about something that you've completely finished. And it was really interesting to me to see like what people finished, what they thought about it, and if they were going to repurchase it. Because if you finished something entirely and then repurchased it, it told me it had to be good. So I really loved that part of YouTube right at the very beginning. Question 7 is, who inspires you on YouTube? And oh my god, I could do like a 2-hour video on the people who inspire me on YouTube, because there are so many. Like, when it comes to like the big beauty YouTubers, there are a ton that I learn from. I love watching and trying to recreate tutorials from like Jaclyn Hill, Nikki Tutorials, Samantha Ravendal. Like, I love what they do. I'll never be like them, and I know that I'll never be like that, but it's so inspiring to me what they do and the stuff that they create. That really inspires me. And then of course, project planners, people who are just mindful of their consumption. That has been really inspiring for me to keep going, to keep pushing my channel in new and different directions. People like Jacqueline Levine, people like Amber F, who I mentioned previously, the Heathers, love Heatherette and Heather Styles Life, Hunter, Stephanie, the Daisy Girly, Emily, Concealer, and Coffee. Those two are like my creator besties. Like, they keep me sane. I'm so thankful to have those two in my life. They are so inspiring, and just every day they inspire me. We have such a good friendship, and I love them. And you know, people like Makeup Struggles, who she's so funny. I wish I was as funny as her. Like, sometimes I will cry with laughter watching her videos because her sense of humor is just so good. Lauren May Beauty, of course. You know, there's so many people, and I could, like I said, go on and on. I hate singling people out because I always feel like some people get kind of mad that they weren't mentioned, and I truly am sorry. I just don't, my Canadian just came out there. I just can't possibly mention everybody. Anyway, I'm just gonna stop. Question 8 is the #1 thing you would change about the beauty community. So I think the things that I mentioned before are things that I would change. The thing about changing the beauty community is that you can't change it unless everybody agrees to the change. And getting everybody to agree to change is highly unlikely. But you know, overall, I think things are pretty good. And if you notice that something is not going very well, if you notice a problem with like toxicity or other issues, then be the change. You know, it is super cheesy, but it's true. If you want things to change, then you have to change. Question 9 is, what is your #1 piece of advice for creators or people wanting to start a new channel? So it's simple, but just be yourself. It's not really helpful, I know, when you're looking to start a channel and you're like, well, be myself, okay? But just do it because you want to do it, not because you want something out of it. Do it because you want to connect with other people. Do it because you have something to say and stuff to share with people and stuff to document. Do it for those reasons. And the final question is, what do you love about YouTube as a whole? So I love being able to create what I want to create on roughly my own schedule. YouTube is a hobby of mine. It's a hobby that I take quite seriously. I do take it very seriously. I spend quite a bit of time on it. YouTube is definitely more than like a part-time job, hours-wise, just because I enjoy it so much and I get so much out of it, and it's so rewarding to me. And I'm a very creative person, and for the longest time I was so stifled because so much relies on other people. Like, you need people to say yes. If you want to do something creative to move forward, you need people to say yes to you. And so many times I was getting no. You know, that's just my life. And it's hard constantly having those doors slammed in your face and you having to try and keep going and figure out ways to do it. And unless you have connections, unless you have support, unless you have lots of money, there's a lot of dead ends. There's a lot of endings. And with YouTube, at least I can be creative. I can express myself in different ways through my makeup, through what I say, through different projects, through what I do, and there's room to grow, and there's inspiration everywhere, even in places you might not expect it. So that is everything I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. I really love chatting with you guys about this, and I love talking about YouTube stuff. It's so much fun being able to talk about it because I don't have very many people I can talk about it with. So if you already have a channel, if you are looking to start a channel and maybe are looking for a little bit more help or advice, like I said, I have a very small channel, but I'm definitely willing to help anybody in any possible way I can. I'm totally an open book. So leave me a comment, send me a message, send me an email, Snapchat me if you feel like it. I'm pretty quick to respond there, you know, just however you want to reach out to me, please do so if you want to, and I'd love to kind of keep the conversation going. And you know, if you want to chat with me a little bit more about some of the things I said, I'm happy to do so as well. Anyway, thank you so much once again, and I hope I get a chance to talk to you soon. Bye for now.